Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing a winter makeup routine. I have a lot of glowy products in front of me. I do tend to get pretty dry patches in the winter along with my oily skin. Lucky me. So I was sent a bunch of things from Josie Maran, which I was super stoked about. So the first thing I'm using is this Josie Maran Surreal Skin Argan Finishing Balm. Basically, it's a moisturizer, but it is super thick. However, it doesn't really stay thick on your skin. It sinks in really well, and the scent of it is really nice. It's not perfumey at all. It just feels so rich, and even though a lot of this stuff has like argan oil in it, I think that's Josie Maran's kind of claim to fame. It doesn't feel greasy at all. I have oily skin and I would not put something super greasy on my skin. This next product is something that I've been using a lot lately. It's also by Josie Maran and it is the Argan Enlightenment Illuminizer. Basically just like a glowy primer slash highlighter. This one has a really beautiful gold reflect to it, but it's light enough that even on my pale skin it works. So I just like to take a little bit of that and kind of put it anywhere that I want to be extra glowy. You can also mix this in with your foundation. What I like about this is that it doesn't feel slimy like at all, and it actually totally dries down and feels like it's gonna stay for a long time. It reminds me a little bit of the MAC Strobe Cream, except for this one is even less like greasy feeling than that one. All right, now that I have some glow going on, I'm going in with foundation. So you guys know I love this Stellar Limitless foundation, literally best foundation of life. If you have dry skin or textured skin, you need to try this. I have oily skin. I love it. It stays on all day. It doesn't ball up or separate when my skin does get oily. I mean, no, it doesn't keep me matte, but this is a glowy tutorial. Also, fact of life when you have oily skin. So this is a little bit too dark for me, so I have to mix in a little something lighter. I've had this Josie Maran Vibrancy foundation forever. This is in the shade RG5 and it is very pale. And I'm just gonna go in with a beauty blender. I find that sponges work better in the winter for me just because if I have texture or flakiness, dryness, patting the product on doesn't lift up the dry flakes on my skin, whereas if I use a brush and I'm kind of swirling it around, it just disturbs the skin and can make those dry and rough patches just look way worse. This foundation combination is literally a dream. I also like to mix my Stellar foundation with if I'm going for like a little bit less coverage, I'll mix my Stellar foundation with my Lush Jackie Oats color supplement. I don't know, it's basically a tinted moisturizer. And I feel like you can totally see this liquid highlight coming through in a super natural way. For concealer, I tend to switch it up a little bit in the winter. I tend to go for things in pots because I can dab it on the dry patches. Like for some reason, foundation doesn't really stick well to my super dry patches. So when I have them, I will go in with something like this. This is the Glossier Stretch Concealer, very hydrating. Or even this MAC Studio Finish Concealer. This is in NC10. And I'll just like take a little bit of that. And I just like to dab a little bit on my dry patches. As long as I'm doing a tapping motion, it will stick to the dry flakes. If I start trying to rub it around, it's definitely not gonna work. And I will just put a little bit under my eyes as well. This is something that I actually haven't tried yet. This is the Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminizing Veil. I'm assuming it is a highlighter. It's kind of a highlighter. It's a very natural highlighter. It kind of has a peachy undertone. I'm not totally convinced that this is gonna work on my fair skin, but I don't know, let's give it a little go here. I think I'll just use it to add a very subtle color to my cheeks. Honestly, this is kind of working as a bronzer. That is pale people problems. All right, I'm gonna be trying a new brow pencil today. This is the Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer. This is in the shade medium brown, you can see that, but it's kind of like, I don't know, the Anastasia brow definer, but it has a skinnier tip on it. It's almost like a diamond shape. I like this little ball spoolie. It's super little and very cute. Okay, so this brow pencil actually is really great. I like that I didn't have to push very hard to get good color, and it doesn't feel like too creamy that it's just gonna like wear off. Okay, so next we're moving on to this Josie Maran cream stick blush. I freaking love cream blushes. Powders just tend to not look as natural, and this one gives you perfect like I was just outside glow. This one's in the shade Golden Peach. I like to take my cream blushes a little bit on my forehead as well. It just like helps to bring the flush look all together. Also from Maybelline, I got this Total Temptation mascara. I feel like I've heard really good things about it. This mascara is very natural looking to me. I feel like, you know, I didn't get any clumps or anything, but it's not gonna give me super crazy volume. For lips, I've been wearing this Josie Maran lipstick. This is in the shade Embrace It Honey. It's like the most perfect nude ever. What I love about this lipstick is that it's hydrating, but it still looks matte, and it also doesn't accentuate really dry lips, which is a pretty big issue for me. I'm just gonna top it off with a little bit of the cheek product, and that just kind of deepens it up a little bit. Let's add a little bit to the eyes too, because we can. This Surreal Finishing Balm can also be used for on top of the skin. So I just give it a little pat down, and it just gives like the most natural glow. Doesn't mess up your makeup at all. And the last thing I have is this Josie Maran Nirvana Hydrating Treatment Mist, which I'm gonna treat as a setting spray, although it's really just meant for adding some hydration and dewiness to your look. Anyway guys, this is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed using all of these products. This is not sponsored, by the way, but I did get some PR stuff, and when I do, I like to share with you guys. My God, I am pale. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye.